Here's a detailed, dramatic, stats and narrative-packed prediction script for semifinals Game 1, Lynx vs. Mercury that you can use directly for your beyond-the-box score video. It includes context, injury updates, matchups, predictions, and everything you asked for. The WNBA playoff air is electric tonight as the Minnesota Lynx host the Phoenix Mercury in Game 1 of the semifinals, and this matchup feels like one built for history. For the Lynx, holding the top seed isn't just a badge, it's a burden they've carried since the season tipped. For the Mercury, this is the return to relevance, the chance to prove that their resurrection isn't a one-off. They battled through the first round and now get a do-over against the league's best. Everything's on the line. Home court, momentum, the first step toward the finals. Whoever wins Game 1 gets more than a win. They get narrative, belief, and pressure advantage. Lose it, and the path forward becomes steep. Minnesota enters this series with a regular season that said very clearly, we're elite. They ranked near the top in both offensive rating and defensive rating, held their own in tough road environments, and came into the postseason with a sweep over Golden State, closing out that first-round series confidently even as Golden State pushed back. Phoenix, meanwhile, finds themselves energized. They defeated the defending champion Liberty in a hard-fought 3-game series. They showed resilience, showed star power, showed that even when their offense sputtered, they could find ways to win. The Mercury's recent stretch has been marked by streakiness, games where their perimeter shooting lives, games where it disappears, but make no mistake, when they're on, few teams can match their chaos and scoring bursts. Injuries and player availability loom as the chess pieces that might decide much of this series. The Lynx will be missing DeJohnny Carrington, ruled out due to a left foot injury, leaving a bench hole that will need to be addressed. Her role in previous games, especially knockdown threes and clutch minutes, will be missed. The Lynx still stagger forward with their stars intact. Napheesa Collier, Kahleah McBride, Courtney Williams, Alana Smith, and Bridget Carlton are expected to start. The Mercury come in with a fully fit roster, no players listed officially on the injury report. No absences. That contrast, one team weathering injuries, another at full strength, might tilt the early edge. Matchups tonight are intoxicating. At the center of every scout's screen is Collier versus the Mercury's interior defenders. Collier's two-way presence, scoring, rebounding, defending, makes her the linchpin. If she can command her touches, demand double teams, and still finish her kick out, Minnesota will force Phoenix to adjust. On the Mercury side, Sato Sabally and Alyssa Thomas become the X factors. Sabali's length and scoring, Thomas's craft and rebounding, and ability to draw fouls or create on the perimeter will stretch the Lynx defense. On the wings, matchups like McBride versus the Mercury's wing defenders and perimeter shooters will matter. Contested threes, closeouts, transition responsibilities. Bench rotation also looms critical. For Phoenix, reserve scorers stepping up could disrupt Lynx defensive schemes late in quarters. For Minnesota, the absence of Carrington means someone else must deliver off the bench to maintain guard depth and spacing. Statistically, the edges are razor-thin but significant. The Lynx held league-leading numbers in defensive rating for much of the regular season, forcing opponents into tougher mid-range attempts and limiting second-chance points. Their offense is efficient, particularly inside, and their ability to share the ball has been strong. Their home court has been a fortress. They've won most of their home games, often by comfortable margins. The Mercury, meanwhile, while less dominant overall, have shown strength in pace when pushed, in scoring bursts off turnovers, and in offensive rebounding. Their ability to feed off momentum, to turn tight games into runs, is what makes them dangerous. Turnover margin will matter. The Lynx traditionally commit fewer turnovers at home and force more themselves. The Mercury can swing games if they disrupt early. Rebounding, especially offensive rebounds, is another battlefield. If the Mercury can secure extra possessions, they can stay close even if their shooting goes cold. We see betting markets and odds reflecting this tension. The Lynx are favored at home, with bettors giving them the slight edge, but there is value being placed on Phoenix in props and parlays because of their underdog role and potential to upset. Over-unders are centered around moderately high totals. Markets are expecting a game with offense but also defensive grind. Props to watch. Sabally points, Thomas rebounds are triple-double type lines, Collier's inside scoring, McBride's three-point attempts. MVP betting is tilted toward Collier, both because of her performance this season and the way the Mercury will have to game plan around her. Some bettors are backing Phoenix props that mirror their ceiling, hot shooting nights, transition points, while others lean Lynx favors in clutch moments and home court control. As for how Game 1 will unfold, expect a tempered opening. Minnesota will start strong, setting tone with defense, interior physicality, and by forcing contested shots early. The Mercury likely respond with quick offensive stretches, Sabley drives, Thomas facilitating, Copper or others flooding open spots off closeouts. The first half feels tight, choppy, with runs from both sides, but Lynx might lead by a small margin at halftime. The second half will be about adjustments. Phoenix will want to open pace, pull Minnesota's defense out, stretch the floor, drive to break help side, and take advantage of transition. If Minnesota keeps the rebounding tight and limits turnovers, they'll control the tempo. Into the fourth, expect pressure, big defensive plays, contested shots, and fatigue becoming a factor. Clutch time becomes about poise, free throws, and who can deliver when the crowd is roaring. I see momentum swings, but Lynx making the critical plays down the stretch. Final score prediction. Lynx 91, Mercury 87. A tight game, back and forth, but Minnesota ekes it out at home by 4 points, powered by Collier and McBride, with bench help in key moments. MVP, best player of the night will be Napheesa Collier. Her inside dominance, her rebounding, her ability to score under pressure while defending the rim will define this game. If Collier plays like the MVP candidate she has been all season, the Mercury won't have an answer. This isn't just about a semifinal. It's about redemption, vindication, and legacy. Lynx lost in the finals last season, felt the sting of what could have been. Phoenix hasn't been to this stage in years, wanting to make a statement, to show resilience, to prove that the rebuilding and offseason work matter. The pressure is thick. Every stop, every shot, every adjustment will echo beyond Game 1. This is just the beginning of an all-out war in the semifinals. If you want every breakdown, every edge, and every bold prediction for the rest of these playoffs, make sure you subscribe to Beyond the Box Score, because the story of this postseason is only getting started.